The Life of Every Anime Character, Part 1. So you may have noticed that the Amagi talks about anime a lot. Like, a lot, possibly too much given some videos' runtimes. And this one's not going to be any different. For some reason, we thought it would be a good idea to chronicle every anime character in one video, but that was obviously never going to happen, so we changed it to a series. And lucky you, you've gotten in on the ground floor. I'm just a voice, so I have no idea how these characters were chosen for part 1, but for some reason I volunteered to do this, and God help me for it. So, welcome to the Amagi. Before we begin, we publish a new video pretty much every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Also, if you've come across this video or think you've subscribed, it never hurts to double check because YouTube's been doing that thing where it randomly unsubs people. The Amagi's reach stretches beyond just this channel, so if you're a fan of us, please consider subscribing to our other channels and following us on all of our socials. Okay, here we go. Number 1, Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. Eren Yeager was a former member of the Survey Corps. He was the main protagonist of Attack on Titan, living in the Shigansha district with his parents until the fall of Wall Maria, where he impotently witnessed his mother being eaten by a Titan. This event would lead to Eren's intense hatred toward the Titans as he swore to wipe all of them off the face of the earth. Soon afterward, his father, Grisha Yeager, found him and gave him the key to his basement, instructing Eren to find it at all costs and retake Wall Maria. He then injected Eren with a Titan serum. In the year 847, Eren, Mikasa Ackerman, and Armin Arlelt joined the 104th Training Corps. The three graduated with Eren ranking 5th best. They then joined the Survey Corps following the Battle of the Trost District. After finding the basement and unlocking his father's memories, Eren learned about the truth of what the Titans are, as well as the history of Eldia and Marley. Eren then vowed to free his home from their true enemy, the rest of humanity that lives across the ocean. Number 2, Kakashi Hatake, Naruto. Kakashi is a shinobi of the Konohagakure's Hatake clan. Famed as Kakashi of the Sharingan, he's one of Konoha's most talented ninja, regularly looked to for advice and leadership despite his personal dislike of responsibility. To his students on Team 7, Kakashi emphasizes the importance of teamwork. He himself received this lesson along with the Sharingan from his childhood friend Obito Uchiha. After the 4th Shinobi World War, Kakashi becomes Konoha's 6th Hokage. Number 3, Itachi Uchiha, Naruto. Itachi Uchiha was a shinobi of Konohagakure's Uchiha clan who served as Anbu captain. He later became an international criminal after murdering his entire clan, sparing only his younger brother Sasuke. He afterwards joined the international criminal organization known as Akatsuki, whose activity brought him to frequent conflict with Konoha and its ninja, including Sasuke, who sought to avenge their clan by killing Itachi. Following his death, Itachi's motives were revealed to be more complicated than they seemed, and that his actions were only ever in the interest of his brother and village, making him remain a loyal shinobi of Konohagakure to the very end. Number 4, Killua Zoldyck, Hunter x Hunter. Killua is the 3rd child of Silva and Kikyo Zoldyck and the heir of the Zoldyck family, until he runs away from home and becomes a rookie hunter. He's the best friend of Gon and is currently traveling with Alluka Zoldyck. He served as the deuteragonist for Hunter x Hunter, having said role in the Heaven's Arena, Greed Island, and Chimera Ant arcs. He was the main protagonist of the 13th Hunter Chairman Election arc, and he was also the tritagonist of the Hunter Exam arc and the York New City arc. Number 5, Mikasa Ackerman, Attack on Titan. Mikasa Ackerman is one of the 2 deuteragonists of the series, along with Armin. After her parents were murdered by human traffickers, Mikasa was rescued by Eren Yeager and lived with him and his parents, Grisha and Carla, before the fall of Wall Maria. She is the last descendant of the Shogun clan that stayed on Paradis Island, thereby related to the Azumabito family, and holds significant political power in Hizuru. Though she desires only to live a peaceful life, Mikasa entered into the military, where she is considered the best soldier among the 104th Training Corps. She later enlists in the Survey Corps to follow and protect Eren, becoming one of its greatest assets. She's currently serving as an officer of the Corps. Number 6, Naruto Uzumaki. I'm not saying what series he's from. Naruto Uzumaki is a shinobi of Konohagakure's Uzumaki clan. He became the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails on the day of his birth, a fate that caused him to be shunned by most of Konoha through his childhood. After joining Team Kakashi, Naruto worked hard to gain the village's acknowledgement, all while chasing his dream to become Hokage. In the following years, through many hardships and ordeals, he became a capable ninja, regarded as a hero both by the villagers and soon after the rest of the world, becoming known as the Hero of the Hidden Leaf. He soon proved to be one of the main factors in winning the 4th Shinobi World War, leading him to achieve his dream and become the village's 7th Hokage. Number 7, Minato Namikaze, from Naruto. Minato was the 4th Hokage of Konohagakure. He was renowned all over the world as Konoha's Yellow Flash. He died during the Nine-Tailed Demon Fox's attack, sacrificing his life to seal a part of the Nine Tails into his newborn son, Naruto Uzumaki. Number 8, Levi Ackermann, Attack on Titan. Levi Ackermann, often formally referred to as Captain Levi, is the squad captain of the Special Operations Squad within the Scout Regiment and is said to be humanity's strongest soldier. Number 9, Saitama from One Punch Man. Saitama is the most powerful being to exist in One Punch Man, but also kind of in all fiction. Saitama faces a self-imposed existential crisis as he's now too powerful to gain any thrill from battle. Initially just a hero for fun, Saitama later registers to be a professional hero for the Hero Association upon realizing that nobody recognizes him as a hero and defends his home in Z City from monsters, villains, and other threats. Under the Hero Association, he's assigned the hero name Caped Baldy and is currently B-Class rank 7. Number 9, Madara Uchiha from Naruto. Madara was the legendary leader of the Uchiha clan. He founded Konohagakure alongside his childhood friend and rival, Hashirama Senju, with the intention of beginning an era of peace. When the two couldn't agree on how to achieve that peace, they fought for control of the village, a conflict which ended in Madara's death. Madara, however, rewrote his death and went into hiding to work on his own plans. Unable to complete it in his natural life, he entrusted his knowledge and plans to Obito shortly before his actual death. Years later, Madara would be revived only to see his plans foiled, and finally, realizing the error of his ways, making amends with Hashirama before his final death. Number 10, Jiraiya, Naruto. This is very front-loaded with Naruto. Jiraiya was one of Konohagakure's Sannin. Famed as a hermit and pervert of stupendous ninja skill, Jiraiya traveled the world in search of knowledge that would help his friends, the various novels he wrote, and posthumously, the world in its entirety. Knowledge that would be passed on to his godson and final student, Naruto Uzumaki. Number 11, Shikamaru Nara. Shikamaru Nara is a shinobi of Konohagakure's Nara clan. Though lazy by nature, Shikamaru has a rare intellect that consistently allows him to prevail in combat. The responsibilities that these successes leave him with cause him frequent annoyance, but he gladly accepts them so that he may be of service to his fellow members of Team Asuma and prove himself to generations of the past and future. Number 12, Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. Edward Elric, also known as Ed, is the titular main protagonist. After losing his right arm and left leg due to a failed human transmutation attempt, Ed became the youngest state alchemist in history by achieving his certification at age 12. 3 years later, Ed has become fully engrossed in his search for the legendary Philosopher's Stone, an item which he hopes to use to restore his younger brother Alphonse Elric, whose whole body had been lost in the aftermath of the human transmutation. Number 13, Pain, from Naruto. Nagato is a shinobi of Amigakure and descendant of the Uzumaki clan. Forming Akatsuki alongside his friends and fellow war orphans, Yahiko and Konan, Nagato dreamed of bringing peace to the violent shinobi world. However, following Yahiko's death, Nagato adopted the alias of Pain and, along with Konan, began leading a new Akatsuki, one that would force the world into peace using any means necessary. Number 14, Gon Freecss from Hunter x Hunter. Gon Freecss is a rookie hunter and the son of Jing Freecss. Finding his father is Gon's motivation to becoming a hunter. He's been the main protagonist for most of the series, having said role in the Hunter Exam, Zoldyck Family, Heaven's Arena, Greed Island, and Chimera Ant arcs. He was also the deuteragonist of the York New City arc. Number 15, Rock Lee from Naruto. Rock Lee is a shinobi of Konohagakure's Lee clan and a member of Team Guy. Unlike most shinobi, he lacked the skills necessary to use ninjutsu or genjutsu. However, he overcomes these shortcomings by undergoing special training from Might Guy that would make him a taijutsu master while still a genin. Number 16, Roronoa Zoro from One Piece. I can't say his name, okay? Just be nice, okay? Roronoa Zoro, also known as Pirate Hunter Zoro, is the combatant of the Straw Hat Pirates, one of their 2 swordsmen, and one of the 9 senior officers of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. Formerly a bounty hunter, he's the second member of Luffy's crew and the first to join it, doing so in the Romance Dawn arc. As a master of 3-sword style, a swordsmanship style which he created during his childhood training in Shimotsuki Village, Zoro is among the 3 most powerful combatants of the Straw Hats alongside Luffy and Sanji. His dream is to become the greatest swordsman in the world, in order to honor a promise he made to his deceased childhood friend Kuina. In addition to his infamy as one of the Straw Hats and as a former bounty hunter, Zoro is also regarded as one of the 12 pirates who are referred to as the Worst Generation. He first gained a bounty of 60 million after the incident at Alabasta. It later increased to 120 million after the Enies Lobby incident, and then 320 million after the Dressrosa arc. Currently, as a result of his actions during the raid on Onigashima, his bounty is increased to 1,111,000,000. Number 17, his name is Luffy. That's Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. Monkey D. Luffy, also known as Straw Hat Luffy and commonly as Straw Hat, is the main protagonist of the manga and anime One Piece. Setting out at age 17, he's the founder and captain of the increasingly infamous and powerful Straw Hat Pirates, as well as one of its top fighters. He desires to find the legendary treasure left behind by the late Gold D. Roger and thereby become the Pirate King, which would help facilitate an unknown dream of his that he's told only to his brothers and crew. He believes that being the Pirate King means having the most freedom in the world. Born in Fuchsia Village, Luffy is the son of Monkey D. Dragon, the leader of the Revolutionary Army, and the grandson of the marine hero Monkey D. Garp, and their family carries the initial and will of D. Luffy met red-haired Shanks, who gave Luffy the very straw hat that has become Luffy's signature accessory, having gifted it to the boy as part of a promise for them to meet again someday after he became a great pirate. Growing up on Dawn Island, Luffy befriended and became sworn brothers of the late Fire Fist Portgas D. Ace and Revolutionary Chief of Staff Sabo, as well as being raised under the care of Curly de Don. Luffy accidentally ate the Gomu Gomu no Mi at age 7, which turned his body into rubber. Thanks to his strong imagination, Luffy is able to wield the seemingly unthreatening abilities of his Devil Fruit to act as an incredibly competent fighter, often manipulating his own rubbery body into a variety of powerful forms. He's one of the few individuals known to have awakened his Devil Fruit, which bestows him with mythical power. Luffy has gone up against numerous global powers around him, starting with fighting the most powerful pirates in the East Blue and moving to clashes against the Marines, 7 Warlords of the Sea, Cypher Pole, World Nobles, and even the 4 Emperors of the Grand Line, emerging victorious in a majority of these battles. He invaded and indirectly caused the annihilation of Enies Lobby, escaped the impregnable Impel Down, and was a focal figure in the Summit War of Marineford. He's also defeated or befriended 7 of the 11 past or present warlords prior to the organization's dissolution. Furthermore, Luffy has invaded the territory of the 4 emperors on multiple occasions and eventually managed to defeat one. Luffy's accomplishments and heritage have caused him to be labeled as a dangerous future element, while in the process of gaining a reputation for being reckless and, in some cases, insane, earning the wrath of Fleet Admiral Sakazuki, the Marine headquarters, and even the world government. Luffy also has a penchant for attracting followers and has unwillingly been named the leader of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, consisting of 7 pirate crews who swore to come to his aid whenever he wishes. After learning of this and his exploits against the Big Mom pirates, the press labeled him the 5th Emperor of the Sea, though many prominent figures initially considered this to be exaggerated. However, after defeating Kaido during the raid on Onigashima, Luffy was officially declared as one of the 4 emperors by the world government, along with Buggy replacing Kaido and Big Mom. Luffy has made tremendous strides in his life of piracy, with his bounty heavily reflecting this fact. He gained his first bounty of 30 million for defeating the strongest pirate captains of the East Blue, which then increased to 100 million after defeating Crocodile in Alabasta. After his crew's invasion into and escape from Enies Lobby, his bounty was increased to 300 million. His sizable bounty upon arriving at the Sabati Archipelago caused Luffy to be included among the 11 super rookie pirates who simultaneously reached the Red Line with bounties of over 100 million shortly before the Summit War. He, the other 10 super rookies, and Marshall D. Teach would go on to be referred to as the Worst Generation. 2 years after the war, with his bounty increased to 400 million, he entered the New World and began challenging the emperors and their allies directly, with his bounty going up to 500 million after the Dressrosa arc, and later all the way to 1.5 billion after the events of the Whole Cake Island arc. Eventually, his conquests and his reputation end up contributing to his current bounty of 3 billion. Number 18, Koro Sensei, from Assassination Classroom. Koro Sensei acts as the homeroom teacher of Class E3 of Kunugikaoka Junior High School, and the secondary protagonist and anti-hero of Assassination Classroom. He claimed to be responsible for creating the permanent crescent moon, and added that he planned to destroy the Earth after teaching Class 3E for a year. Prior to being a teacher, he was the assassin known as the Reaper. Number 19, Gaara from Naruto. Gaara is a shinobi of Sunagakure. He was made the Jinchukuri of the one-tailed Shukaku before he was born, causing the villagers of Suna to fear him as a monster. With nobody to connect to, Gaara grew up hating the world and looking out only for himself, giving his life meaning by killing anyone he came across. After being defeated by Naruto, a Jinchuriki like himself who found strength in his friendships, Gaara starts emulating him. He becomes Suna's 5th Kazekage so that he can protect the village and those who live there, dispelling the fears he cast on the villagers. Number 20, Vegeta from the Dragon Ball series. Vegeta, recognized as Prince Vegeta, is the prince of the fallen Saiyan race and husband of Bulma, the father of Trunks and Bulla, the eldest son of King Vegeta, as well as one of the main characters of Dragon Ball. Regal, egotistical, and full of pride, Vegeta was once a ruthless, cold-blooded warrior and outright killer, but later abandons his role in the Frieza Force, instead opting to remain and live on Earth. He would later repeatedly fight alongside Universe 7's most powerful warriors in order to protect Earth and his family, as well as to surpass Goku in power. Vegeta's character development is the most praised and one of the biggest in the series. He started off serving as the main antagonist of the Saiyan saga, but then as an anti-heroic tritagonist through the rest of Dragon Ball Z. After the Majin Buu saga, Vegeta would evolve into a hero as the main deuteragonist/secondary protagonist of the sequel series, Dragon Ball Super. Number 21, Ryuk from Death Note. Ryuk is a Shinigami who indirectly gives Light Yagami a Death Note after becoming bored with the Shinigami realm. In an effort to amuse himself, he steals a second Death Note and drops it into the human world for someone to find. This Death Note is discovered by Light, who uses it to attempt to cleanse the world of evil and injustice, satisfying Ryuk's need for entertainment. Number 22, Roy Mustang from Fullmetal Alchemist. Roy Mustang, also known as the Flame Alchemist, is the tritagonist of Fullmetal Alchemist. He's a state alchemist and officer in the Amestrian state military. A hero of the Ishval Civil War and Edward Elric's superior officer, Colonel Mustang is a remarkably capable commander who plans to become the next Führer of Amestris. Number 23, Izuku Midoriya from My Hero Academia. Izuku Midoriya, also known as Deku, is the main protagonist of My Hero. Even though Izuku was born quirkless, he manages to catch the attention of the legendary hero All Might due to his innate heroism and strong sense of justice, and has since become his close pupil, as well as student in Class 1A at UA High School. All Might passed on his transferable quirk to Izuku, making him the 9th holder of One for All. Following the Paranormal Liberation War with Tomer Shigaraki and All for One actively targeting Izuku for his quirk, he decides to leave UA before finishing his first year to keep his classmates out of harm's way. After encouragement from his friends, he later returns to the school and leads the heroes against the villains in one final desperate battle to save the world. Number 24, Might Guy from Naruto. Might Guy is a Jonin of Konohagakure. A master of taijutsu, Guy leads and passes his wisdom onto the members of Team Guy. Number 25, Obito Uchiha. Obito Uchiha was a member of Konohagakure's Uchiha clan. He was believed to have died during the Third Shinobi World War, with his only surviving legacy being the Sharingan he gave to his teammate Kakashi Hatake. In truth, Obito was saved from death and trained by Madara, but the events of the war left Obito disillusioned with reality, and he inherited Madara's plan to create an ideal world. Resurfacing under the names of Tobi and Madara Uchiha himself, Obito subtly took control of the Akatsuki, using them as means to advance his machinations, eventually going public and starting the Fourth Shinobi World War. However, towards the war's conclusion, Obito had a change of heart and, as atonement, sacrificed his life to save the same world he sought to replace. Number 26, Hinata Hyuga. Hinata Hyuga, or Hinata Uzumaki, is a kunoichi of Konohagakure. Formerly the heiress of the Hyuga clan, she lost the position upon being deemed unsuited for the responsibilities of leading the clan. Nonetheless, Hinata persevered, and from her observation of Naruto especially, Hinata found an example to follow. Through her membership with Team 8, she sought to become strong enough to change herself, even if a little at a time. A few years after the Fourth Shinobi World War, Hinata joined the Uzumaki clan after marrying Naruto. Number 27, Hisoka Moro, from Hunter x Hunter. Hisoka is a hunter and former member number 4 of the Phantom Troop. His physical strength ranked 3rd in the group. He's always in search of strong opponents and would spare those who have great potential, such as Gon and Killua, in order to get them strong enough to actually challenge him. He originally served as the primary antagonist of the Hunter Exam arc and the Heaven's Arena arc, before becoming a supporting character during the York New City arc and Greed Island arc. During the 13th Hunter Chairman election arc, he reprises his role as a secondary antagonist. Number 28, L from Death Note. L is a world-renowned detective who takes on the challenge of catching the mass murderer known as Kira, actually Light Yagami. In his investigation, L becomes suspicious of Light and makes it his goal to prove that Light is in fact Kira. Number 29, Neji Hyuga from Naruto. Neji Hyuga was a shinobi of Konohagakure's Hyuga clan. Though a prodigy even by Hyuga's standards, Neji was a member of the clan's branch house. No matter how skilled he became, he would always be in service to the Hyuga's main house, a fact that convinced him that fate was predetermined. After experiencing Naruto Uzumaki's refusal to be limited by such an ideology, Neji realized his fate was what he chose it to be, and as a member of Team Guy, he sought the strength necessary to make the future he wanted for his family and friends, and ultimately sacrificed his life to protect the very same person who taught him about the freedom of one's choice of fate, Naruto. Number 30, Lelouch Vi Britannia from Code Geass. Lelouch Vi Britannia is the main protagonist of Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion, and Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion R2, and plays a supporting role in side stories like Code Geass Oz and the Reflection, and Code Geass Lancelot and Gurren. After he was exiled, he uses the alias Lelouch Lampe Rouge. He was the 11th Prince of the Holy Britannian Empire and the son of the 98th Emperor of Britannia, Charles Z. Britannia. He was also the leader and founder of the Black Knights and the real identity of Zero. Number 31, Kurapika from Hunter x Hunter. Kurapika is the last survivor of the Kurta clan. He's a blacklist hunter and current leader of the organization founded by Light Nostrad. He's a member of the Zodiacs with the codename Rat. His goal is to avenge his clan and recover the remaining Scarlet Eyes. He takes the role of the main protagonist in the York New City and Succession Contest arcs. He was also the deuteragonist of the Hunter exam arc. Number 32, Meliodas from the Seven Deadly Sins. Meliodas is the dragon sin of wrath and captain of the Seven Deadly Sins, the husband and lover of Elizabeth Leonis and her previous incarnations, the owner of the renowned Tavern Boar Hat, and the main protagonist of the series. His sacred treasure is the demon sword Lost Vein, and his inherent power is Full Counter. He was also the head of the Ten Commandments as Meliodas the Love, and a former member of Stigma after his defection from the Demon Clan. Number 33, Erza Scarlet from Fairy Tail. Erza Scarlet is an S-class mage of the Fairy Tail Guild, wherein she is a member of Team Natsu. She also served as the guild's 7th guildmaster during Makarov's absence in X792. Number 34, Sasuke Uchiha from Naruto. Sasuke Uchiha is one of the last surviving members of Konohagakure's Uchiha clan. After his older brother Itachi slaughtered their clan, Sasuke made it his mission to avenge them by killing Itachi. He's added to Team 7 upon becoming a ninja, and through competition with his rival and best friend Naruto, Sasuke starts developing his skills. Dissatisfied with his progress, he defects from Konoha so that he can acquire the strength needed to exact his revenge. His years of seeking vengeance and his actions that followed become increasingly demanding, irrational, and isolates him from others, leading him to be branded as an international criminal. After learning the truth of his brother's sacrifice, later proving instrumental in ending the Fourth Shinobi World War, and being happily redeemed by Naruto, Sasuke decides to return to Konoha and dedicate his life to help protect the village and its inhabitants, becoming referred to as the supporting Kage. Number 35, Goku from Dragon Ball. Son Goku, born Kakarot, is a Saiyan raised on Earth and the overall main protagonist of the Dragon Ball series. Originally sent to Earth as an infant, Kakarot would be adopted by Grandpa Gohan, who named his son Goku. A head injury at an early age alters Goku's memory, ridding him of his initial destructive nature and allowing him to grow up to become one of Earth's greatest defenders. He constantly strives and trains to be the greatest warrior possible, which has kept the Earth and the universe safe from destruction many times. Number 36, Kushina Uzumaki from Naruto. Kushina Uzumaki was a Konohagakure kunoichi who originated from Uzushiyogakure's Uzumaki clan. She was the second Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. Number 37, Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach. Ichigo is a human who is also a substitute Shinigami. Ichigo is the son of Isshin and Masaki Kurosaki, an older brother of Karin and Yuzu. He's also married to Orihime Inoue and has a son named Kazui Kurosaki. Number 38, Yatogami from Noragami. Yato, also known by his given name Yaboku, is one of the three main protagonists of Noragami. He's an obscure god who aims to become a god of fortune. In the past, he was known as a god of calamity. Number 39, Natsu from Fairy Tail. Natsu Dragneel is a mage of the Fairy Tail Guild, wherein he's a member of Team Natsu, naturally. He's the younger brother of Zareth Dragneel, having originally died 400 years ago, being subsequently revived as his brother's most powerful Etherius, END. Natsu is also among the 5 Dragon Slayers sent to the future from 400 years in the past, having an additional purpose in the assistance of the defeat of Acnologia. Number 40, Erwin Smith from Attack on Titan. Erwin Smith was the 13th commander of the Survey Corps. Discerning, intelligent, and widely respected, Erwin was an able commander. While he cared deeply for his men, he didn't hesitate to sacrifice himself for the good and prosperity of mankind, and his men proved more than willing to stake their lives at his order. During Erwin's career, he developed the long-distance enemy scouting formation, and due to an uncertainty about his future, he later named Zoe Hange as his successor. Number 41, Pikachu. From Pokemon. Pikachu is an electric-type Pokemon which was introduced in Generation 1. Pikachu is renowned for being the most well-known and recognizable Pokemon, and arguably one of the most recognizable characters in the world. Over the years, Pikachu has become so popular that it serves as the mascot of the Pokemon franchise. It's the version mascot and first partner Pokemon for the game Pokemon Yellow and its remake Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. It's also well known from the anime, where Ash Ketchum, the protagonist, owns a Pikachu. It evolves from Pichu when leveled up, with high friendship, and evolves into Raichu when exposed to a Thunderstone. When in Alola, it evolves into Alolan Raichu through exposure to a Thunderstone. Number 42, Zoe Hange from Attack on Titan. Hange Zoe was the 14th commander of the Survey Corps, named so by Erwin Smith before his death. Hange was formerly a squad leader in charge of the 4th Squad, having the duties of innovative inventing and conducting research on Titans, including Eren Yeager. After being promoted to commander, Hange was also in charge of expedition planning, management of the regiment, recruiting, and all the other responsibilities previously handled by Erwin. Upon their death, they were succeeded by Armin Arlelt. Number 43, Grey Fullbuster. Grey is a mage of the Fairy Tail Guild, wherein he is a member of Team Natsu. Number 44, Shisui Uchiha from Naruto. Shisui Uchiha, renowned as Shisui of the Body Flicker, was an Anbu from Konohagakure's Uchiha clan. Number 45, Sanji from One Piece. Blackleg Sanji, born as Vinsmoke Sanji, is the cook of the Straw Hat Pirates and one of the 9 senior officers of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. He's the 5th member of the crew and the 4th to join, doing so at the end of the Baratier arc. Born as the 3rd son and 4th child of the Vinsmoke family, thus making him a former prince of the Germa Kingdom, he disowned his family twice, once in his youth and again after reuniting with them as an adult. After fleeing the Vinsmokes as a child, he eventually entered the care of Zeph as the sous chef of the Baratier, where he would remain until he met Monkey D. Luffy, who convinced him to join his crew. His dream is to find the rumored chef's paradise, the All Blue, which is where the East Blue, West Blue, North Blue, and South Blue meet, along with their wildlife. He's one of the top 3 fighters of the Straw Hats alongside Luffy and Zoro. He first gained a bounty of 77 million for his role in the Enies Lobby arc. It later increased to 177 million after the Dressrosa incident, but the condition of this bounty was changed to only alive due to his biological father's interference as opposed to dead or alive, though it was later reverted back to dead or alive after escaping from Big Mom's territory with a value of 330 million. His current bounty is 1,032 million after the events of the raid on Onigashima. Despite renouncing his surname Vinsmoke, the world government labels it as part of his name on his wanted poster. Number 46, Sasha Blouse from Attack on Titan. Sasha Blouse was a member of the Survey Corps and one of the few former members of the 104th Training Corps, of which she was ranked 9th best, that decided to join the regiment upon coming into contact with Eren's strong desire to eliminate the Titans. A compulsive food hoarder with an overly polite way of speech, Sasha was from Dapper, a village in the southern territory of Wall Rose. Number 47, Light Yagami from Death Note. Light Yagami is the main protagonist of the Death Note series. Yeah, I guess he's a yeah, it would be an issue if we said he was the hero of Death Note, but no, he is the protagonist. After discovering the Death Note, he decides to use it to rid the world of criminals. His killings are eventually labeled by the people living in Japan as the work of Kira. Number 47, Osamu Dazai from Bungo Stray Dogs. Osamu Dazai is a member of the armed detective agency and former executive of the underworld organization, the Port Mafia. He has the ability named No Longer Human. Number 48, Katsuki Bakugo from My Hero Academia. Katsuki Bakugo, also known as Kachan by his childhood friends, and his hero name, Great Explosion Murder God Dynamite, is a student in Class 1A at UA High School, training to become a pro hero. He's the deuteragonist of the series, often irritated by Izuku Midoriya's existence. Number 49, Kageyama Tobio from Haikyuu. Tobio Kageyama is the deuteragonist of the Haikyuu series. For the majority of the series, he's a first-year student at Karasuno High School and plays as the starting setter for the boys' volleyball club. He was chosen to train at the All-Japan Youth Training Camp during his first year of high school and joined the V-League as soon as he graduated. He became a part of Japan's national volleyball team at the age of 19, participating in the Rio Olympics in 2016. In November 2018, he was playing as a setter for the Japanese V-League Division 1 team Schweden Adlers. Currently, he's a member of Ali Roma, an Italian professional team in Italy's Serie A. Number 50, Genos, from One Punch Man. Genos is the deuteragonist of One Punch Man. He's a 19-year-old cyborg and disciple of Saitama. He's always aiming to become more powerful, and he fights for justice. Under the Hero Association, he's given the name Demon Cyborg and is currently S-Class rank 14. Number 51, Akamaru, from Naruto. Akamaru is a nin dog from Konohagakure's Inuzuka clan. He's Kiba Inuzuka's partner as well as his best friend and constant companion. He's also a member of Team Kurenai. Number 52, Portgas D Ace, from One Piece. Portgas D Ace, born as Gold D Ace and nicknamed Fire Fist Ace, was the sworn older brother of Luffy and Sabo and biological son of the late Pirate King Gold D Roger and Portgas D Rouge. Ace was adopted by Monkey D. Garp as had been requested by Roger before his execution. Ace was the 2nd Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates and one-time captain of the Spade Pirates. Hunted by the world government for his lineage, Ace was captured and sentenced to death, which resulted in the Summit War of Marineford, an all-out clash of powers. Whitebeard's forces against the Marines and 7 warlords. Ace was first shown during the Drum Island arc, but only got formally introduced in the Alabasta arc, where he acts as a brief ally of the Straw Hat Pirates. He's a central figure during the whole Summit War saga. He's also the protagonist of Ace's Great Blackbeard Search cover page serial. Number 53, Tsunade, from Naruto. Tsunade is a descendant of the Senju and Uzumaki clan and is one of Konohagakure's Sannin. She's famed as the world's strongest kunoichi and is the greatest medical nin. The repeated loss of her loved ones caused Tsunade to later abandon the life of a shinobi for many years. She's eventually persuaded to return to Konoha and take on the mantle of 5th Hokage, where her skills prove invaluable to the village. Number 54, Armin Arlelt from Attack on Titan. Armin is a soldier in the Scout Regiment. He's also a childhood friend of Eren Yeager and Mikasa Ackerman and is one of the 2 deuteragonists of the series. Although he appears to be the physically weakest of the 104th Cadet Corps, his high intelligence and strategic genius make him an invaluable asset, though he doesn't consider himself to be one and is known to have low self-esteem. After the Battle of Shiganshina District, he took the power of the Titans from Bertolt Hoover and became the Colossal Titan. Number 55, Shanks, from One Piece. Red-haired Shanks, commonly known as just Red Hair, is the chief of the Red Hair Pirates and one of the 4 emperors that rule over the New World. Sailing with the Roger Pirates since he was an infant, Shanks would begin his pirate career on their ship as an apprentice alongside Buggy, before forming his own crew following Roger's death. 12 years ago, while operating in the East Blue, Shanks sacrificed his left arm in order to save his young friend Monkey D. Luffy at sea. Notably, Shanks is the pirate who inspired Luffy to go on his own pirate journey, as well as accidentally providing him with the Gomu Gomu no Mi to eat. He also owned the straw hat that has become Luffy's signature accessory, having gifted it to the boy as part of a promise for them to meet again someday. Ever since the beginning of the series, Shanks has been an important background character, usually being shown accompanying Luffy's ever-growing reputation as a pirate. He is a late but still vital ally during both the Marineford and Wano County arcs. He and his crew also have a sizable role in the One Piece film Red, which centers on Uta, Shanks' daughter. Number 56, Touka Kirishima from Tokyo Ghoul. Touka Kirishima is a ghoul who is an ex-waitress at Anteku. She's the daughter of Arata Kirishima and Hikari Kirishima, the older sister of Ayato Kirishima, the wife of Ken Kaneki, and the mother of Ichika Kaneki. Touka wears a rabbit mask while hunting, earning her the alias Rabbit. In Tokyo Ghoul, she was a second-year student at Kiyomi High School and later a third year after the post-Aogiri timeskip. 2 years after the owl suppression operation, she returns as the manager of the coffee shop, Ri. Following the destruction, she joins the newly formed organization GOAT, thus relocating to the 24th Ward along with its other members. After the defense of Tokyo, Kaneki and Touka currently live happily married, which now makes her Touka Kaneki, with a daughter and other child coming, with humans and ghouls finally united together. Number 57, Denki Kaminari from My Hero Academia. Denki Kaminari, also known as Stun Gun Hero Charge Bolt, is a student in Class 1A at UA High School training to become a pro hero. He's also kind of dumb, but don't worry about it. Juzo Suzuya from Tokyo Ghoul. Juzo Suzuya is a special class ghoul investigator. In the past, he went by the name Rei Suzuya. He was first partnered with Yukinori Shinohara and is now currently the leader of the Suzuya squad. He was first assigned to the 20th Ward and was responsible for the investigation of the Binge Eater. Later, he was assigned to the 13th Ward and was investigating the ghoul Nutcracker along with his squad. After Kisho Arima's passing, he was declared by Furuta as the next Arima, the new strongest investigator of the CCG, assuming control of the S3 squad. Number 59, Rin Okumura from Blue Exorcist. Rin Okumura is the son of Satan and the elder fraternal twin of Yukio Okumura. Studying as an ex-wire at True Cross Academy, Rin desires to become a Knightmeister and defeat his biological father. Number 60, Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. Spike Spiegel is a bounty hunter on a spaceship called the Bebop and travels through space with his crew. Before becoming a bounty hunter, Spike was a member of the Red Dragon Crime Syndicate. Spike displayed many talents and abilities, including being skilled in hand-to-hand combat and martial arts fighting. Spike was partnered with Vicious in the Red Dragon Crime Syndicate criminal organization, and the two garnered a reputation as the Syndicate's strongest fighters. But all that changed after Spike started a romantic affair with Vicious's girlfriend Julia, causing the two to become bitter enemies. After finding happiness outside violence, Spike tried to leave the Syndicate and was then forced to fake his own death and separate from Julia in order to leave. After Spike fakes his death to escape, Julia never arrives to rendezvous with him. Instead, she goes into hiding to avoid betraying him or being killed herself. Spike eventually met and teamed up with former Intersolar System police officer and bounty hunter Jet Black, the captain of the Bebop. Spike also became a pilot and flew a converted asteroid racer called the Swordfish II. As legal bounty hunters, Spike and Jet travel the solar system's inhabited worlds, hunting bounty heads across the populated planets and moons of the solar system. They're later joined by Faye Valentine, Edward, and Ein. During his adventures on board the Bebop, Spike confronted various bounty heads and had interactions with other people, including a terrorist, a deranged serial killer, and a bounty hunter styled after an American Western cowboy. During his career as a bounty hunter, Spike was also drawn back into his bitter feud with Vicious, who had since become head of the Syndicate, who seeks to kill him. After having run-ins with Vicious on 2 occasions, Spike was informed that Julia is alive and in hiding, and they later reunite after Julia comes out of hiding. Unfortunately, Vicious sends hitmen after them. Julia perishes in the midst of Vicious's vengeful bloodbath, prompting Spike to return the favor. After saying his goodbyes to Jet and Faye, Spike storms the headquarters of the Syndicate and has a final confrontation with Vicious. Spike succeeds in killing him, but not without serious injuries. Shortly afterwards, Spike walks into and collapses in the entrance hall with no indication of whether he lives or dies, with Spike's ultimate fate being deliberately left ambiguous, but, come on, he's dead. See a space cowboy. Spike is dead. Number 61, Zabuza Momochi from Naruto. Zabuza Momochi, given the moniker Demon of the Hidden Mist, was a missing nin from Kirigakure's 7 Ninja Swordsmen of the Mist. Number 62, Alphonse Elric from Fullmetal Alchemist. Alphonse Elric, also known as Al, is the deuteragonist of Fullmetal Alchemist. He's the younger brother of the titular Fullmetal Alchemist, Edward Elric. Al is also a victim of the failed human transmutation experiment in which Ed lost his right arm and left leg. Having had his entire physical being taken away from him in the aftermath of the tragedy, Alphonse exists solely as a soul alchemically bound to a large suit of steel armor. Now, Al travels with his brother in search of a legendary Philosopher's Stone, an item with the power to restore their bodies to normal. Number 63, Sebastian Michaelis from Black Butler. Sebastian Michaelis is the titular Black Butler and senior staff member of the Phantom Hive household. He's also a demon. That's pretty important. Number 64, Asta from Black Clover. Asta is an orphan raised under the care of a church in Hajj after his mother abandons him on the church doorstep. After turning 15 years old, Asta receives a 5-leaf clover grimoire with an anti-magic devil inside. He joins the Clover Kingdom's Black Bull squad of the Magic Knights and becomes a first-class senior Magic Knight and temporarily a Royal Knight. Number 65, Kisuke Urahara from Bleach. Kisuke Urahara is the former captain of the 12th Division, as well as the founder and first president of the SRDI. His lieutenant was Hiyori Sarugaki. He lives in the human world where he owns a small convenience store which sells Shinigami items. He's assisted by his employees Tessai Tsukabishi, Jinta Hanakari, and Ururu Sumugia. Number 66, Killer B from Naruto. Killer B is a shinobi from Kumogakure. He's the most recent Jinchukuri of the Eight Tails Gyuki though. Unlike his predecessors, he was able to befriend it and hone its power for Kumo's benefit. Despite being responsible for the village's protection, B aspires to be the world's greatest rapper. Number 67, Hashirama Senju from Naruto. Hashirama Senju was a member of the famed Senju clan. He himself was hailed as the god of the shinobi for his unmatched ninja prowess. Hashirama sought peace for the shinobi world, and to that end founded Konohagakure with his clan, his childhood friend and rival, Madara Uchiha, and the Uchiha clan. He would later become the first Hokage of Konohagakure. Although he wasn't able to achieve peace during his lifetime, his legacy and vision for the world would continue to shape the village and the entire shinobi world even after his death. Number 68, Shoto Todoroki from My Hero Academia. Shoto Todoroki, hero named Shoto, is the tritagonist of My Hero Academia. He's a student in Class 1A at UA High School, where he got in through official recommendations and is training to become a pro hero. He's the youngest son of Endeavor, the former number 2 and current number 1 pro hero. Number 69, Leorio from Hunter x Hunter. Leorio is a rookie hunter and a member of the Zodiacs with the codename Boar. He's currently a medical student studying to become a doctor. Number 70, Sasori from Naruto. Sasori, renowned as Sasori of the Red Sand, was an S-rank missing nin from Tsunagakure's Puppet Brigade and a member of the Akatsuki, where he was partnered with Orochimaru and later, Deidara. Number 71, Mira Jane Strauss from Fairy Tail. Mira Jane Strauss is an S-class mage of the Fairy Tail Guild, as well as its drawing card, and is often a model for the Sorcerer magazine. She's the older sister of Elfman and Lysana. Number 72, Totoro from My Neighbor Totoro. Totoro is the titular character in Studio Ghibli's film My Neighbor Totoro, and is also featured in the sequel May and the Kitten Bus. He's a woodland creature who eats acorns, and has since become the mascot of Studio Ghibli since the film's success. Number 73, Riza Hawkeye from Full Metal Alchemist. Lieutenant Riza Hawkeye is an officer in the Amestrian State Military, as well as the personal adjutant and bodyguard of Colonel Roy Mustang. A sharpshooter and firearms specialist, Lieutenant Hawkeye is an invaluable asset to the Colonel both in office and on the battlefield, and serves as his closest and most supportive subordinate. Number 74, Asuma Sarutobi from Naruto. Asuma Sarutobi was a jonin of Konohagakure's Sarutobi clan and a former member of the 12 Guardian Ninja. He was also the leader of Team 10, which consists of Shikamaru Nara, Ino Yamanaka, and Choji Akimichi. Number 75, Dabi from My Hero Academia. Dabi is a major antagonist in the My Hero Academia manga and anime series. He became affiliated with the League of Villains, a former member of the organization's since disbanded Vanguard Action Squad, and later one of the 9 lieutenants of the Paranormal Liberation Front. Alongside his teammates, he serves as one of the main antagonists in the Forest Camp Training Arc, Pro Hero Arc, and Paranormal Liberation War Arc. Number 76, Haku from Naruto. Haku was an orphan from the Land of Water and a descendant of the Yuki clan. He later became a shinobi under Zabuza Momochi's tutelage, whom he later partnered with, ultimately becoming a mercenary ninja. Number 77, Himiko Toga from My Hero Academia. Himiko Toga is a major antagonist of the manga and anime series. She was a member of the League of Villains, affiliated with the Vanguard Action Squad, and later becoming one of the 9 lieutenants of the Paranormal Liberation Front. Number 78, Maze Hughes from Full Metal Alchemist. Maze Hughes was an Amestrian state military officer stationed in the Investigations Office in Central City and Colonel Roy Mustang's best friend, as well as the closest supporter of Mustang's secret bid for the position of Führer. A devoted family man and exemplary soldier, Hughes was generally well liked by the other characters, unless he was pushing his love of his wife or daughter on them, and his murder served as the major starting point for the story to unfold. After his death, Hughes was posthumously promoted 2 ranks, making him Brigadier General. Number 79, King from the 7 Deadly Sins. King is the grisly sin of sloth of the 7 Deadly Sins. His real name is Fairy King Harlequin, and he's the protector of the Fairy King's forest and the Fairy Realm. His sacred treasure is the Spirit Spear Chastafal, which he uses in conjunction with his inherent power, Disaster. He's also the older brother of Elaine, the guardian of the Fountain of Youth, as well as the husband of Deanne, a fellow member of the Sins and a future giant queen. Number 80, Mikhaila Hyakuya from Seraph of the End. Mikhaila Hyakuya, birth name Mikhaila Shindo, is a character in Seraph of the End. He also appears in Seraph of the End, the Story of Vampire Michaela novels. In addition, Mika is in the Seraph of the End Guren Ichinose Catastrophe at 16 light novel series along with the manga that adapts it. Mika lived with Yuichiro Hyakuya at an orphanage before they were moved underground by vampires after the world ended. After an attempted escape ended in his family being murdered by Farid Bathory, he was turned into a vampire himself by third progenitor Krell Tepish against his will. Around vampires, Mika was told of what humans were planning. Turned against them and disliking who he was, Mika would live for meeting Yu again. Becoming an exceptionally capable swordsman, Mika meant to rescue Yu from humans. Further awareness of human experimentation would be learned when Mika saw that Yu had been affected. The second time Mika found him, after suffering physically with pain from surviving off vampire blood when human blood was needed, Mika would drink from Yu and become a complete vampire. In addition to concerns of his fading emotions and who they could trust, Mika still supports Yu's squad as they're tracked and pulled into others' plots. Mika himself is targeted, where there was a past angelic appearing Mikaela having existed in the ancient past. He, along with Yu and a few others, possess the Seraph gene, where as a vampire, Mika is a special one believed to contain the Mikaela trait. After being turned into a demon, Mika regains memories of who he is. Number 81, Mina Ashido from My Hero Academia. Mina Ashido, hero named Pinky, is a student in Class 1A at UA High School training to become a pro hero. Number 82, Trunks from the Dragon Ball series. Trunks is a human-type Earthling Saiyan hybrid and the firstborn child and only son of Vegeta and Bulma, and the elder brother of Bulla. Number 83, Jean from Attack on Titan. Jean is a graduate of the 104th Training Corps, among whom he ranked 6th best. Jean hails from Walrose's Trost district and joined the military with hopes of obtaining a peaceful life as part of the military police brigade, but would later find himself joining the Survey Corps. Currently, he serves as a commanding officer in the Survey Corps, leading a squad during the raid on Liberio. Number 84, Eijiro Kirishima from My Hero Academia. Eijiro Kirishima, hero named Sturdy Hero Red Riot, is a student in Class 1A at UA High School training to become a pro hero. Number 85, Akame from Akame ga Kill. Akame, also known as Akame of the Demon Sword Murasame, is the titular heroine alongside Tatsumi and the lead anti-heroine of the manga series Akame ga Kill, as well as the main protagonist of the prequel manga Akame ga Kill 0. She also appears as a main supporting character in Hinawa ga Yuku, mainly as Hinata's personal tutor of swordsmanship and Elder's class combat tutor. Originally sold to the Empire along with her sister Kurome to be trained as an assassin, Akame eventually defected to the rebels when she was sent to assassinate General Najenda, the leader of Night Raid, and joined them to overthrow the corrupt monarchy. Number 86, Jalal Fernandez from Fairy Tail. Jalal is a childhood friend of Erza Scarlet. Before he lost his own memory, he was a dark mage who desperately sought to revive Zeref via the R system. Jalal currently serves as a member and co-founder of Crime Sorcière. Number 87, Zeref from Fairy Tail. Zeref Dragneel was considered to be the strongest, most evil mage of all time, who possesses extremely dangerous and powerful magic. He's the founder and former emperor of the Alvarez Empire under the alias of Emperor Spriggan, the older brother of Natsu Dragneel and father of August. Number 88, Sai from Naruto. Sai Yamanaka is the Anbu chief of Konohagakure's Yamanaka clan. Prior to this, he was a root member. As per standard root training, Sai was conditioned to remove all emotions and as such had difficulty connecting with others. When he's added to Team Kakashi as a replacement for the rogue Sasuke Uchiha, Sai begins to learn more about people's feelings and tries to develop his personality and identity by forming genuine bonds and rediscovering the emotions he was taught to suppress. Number 89, Toshiro Hitsugaya from Bleach. Toshiro Hitsugaya is the captain of the 10th Division in the Gotei 13. His lieutenant is Rangiku Matsumoto. He formerly served as the 3rd seat of the 10th Division under Isshin Shiba. Number 90, Gintoki Sakata from Gintama. Gintoki Sakata is the main protagonist of Gintama. He's the founder and president of the Yorozuya, as well as a highly skilled samurai, having fought in the Joey War in the past. During the war, he became known as the Shiroyasha, literally meaning white yaksha, a kind of demon in Buddhism and Hinduism, due to his powerful swordsmanship, demonic appearance, white clothing, and silver hair. Number 91, Kirito from Sword Art Online. Kirigaya Kazuto, born as Narusaka Kazuto, and known as Kirito in Sword Art Online, Alfheim Online, Gun Gale Online, Project Alicization, and Unital Ring, is the protagonist of the main Sword Art Online series. Kirito was chosen to be one of the 1,000 beta testers for the closed beta of Sword Art Online, the first ever virtual reality massively multiplayer online role-playing game, or VR MMORPG, for the Nerve Gear, and later joined the official version of the game. He thus became one of the 10,000 players who were trapped in Sword Art Online, where he remained a solo player for the majority of the game, willingly taking on the role of a beater to reduce discrimination against other former beta testers, as well as actively taking part in boss battles as one of the clearers. Kirito temporarily became a member of the Moonlit Black Cats after helping them safely escape a dangerous dungeon, but returned to being a solo player when a fatal error resulted in the death of the other guild members. At some point in the game, Kirito became known as the Black Swordsman, due to his tendency to wear black clothing. Near the end of the game, Kirito joined the Knights of the Blood due to losing a wager with its leader, Heathcliff. Kirito eventually put an end to the game by defeating the final boss, thus clearing the game. As Asuna and a small group of Sword Art Online survivors were not logged out from Sword Art Online in the aftermath of the incident, Kazuto began playing Alfheim Online as Spriggan due to seeing an in-game screenshot of what resembled Asuna and thus wanting to investigate the matter. After freeing the 300 remaining captives, Kazuto continued playing Alfheim Online under new management with his old friends from SAO as well as his new friends from Alfheim Online. Due to the request of Kikuoka Seijiro, Kazuto temporarily converted his Alfheim Online avatar to Gun Gale Online via the Seed to investigate a series of strange deaths, rumored to be associated with a mysterious player referring to himself as Death Gun. Thus, Kirito took part in the largest tournament of the game, the Bullet of Bullets, to attract the attention of the mysterious player. In the aftermath of the incident, Kazuto returned with his avatar to Alfheim Online and continued playing it with his friends. Several months later, Kazuto was offered a part-time job to test a new full-dive machine known as the Soul Translator, but unbeknownst to him, he was actually helping with a military project known as Project Alicization. Number 92, Ochako Uraraka from My Hero Academia. Ochako Uraraka, also known as Uravity, is a student in Class 1A at UA High School training to become a pro hero. Number 93, Yamato from Naruto. Yamato, also known as Tenzo, are both codenames for this Anbu turned Jonin of Konohagakure, as his wood release would allow him to be able to keep the Nine Tails sealed within Naruto Uzumaki in check. He was reassigned from Anbu to the regular forces, joining Team Kakashi as a temporary replacement for their Jonin sensei Kakashi Hatake. While Kakashi eventually returns to the team, Yamato stays on to provide assistance as needed. Number 94, Kenpachi Zaraki from Bleach. Kenpachi Zaraki is the current captain of the 11th Division in the Gotei 13. He's the 11th Kenpachi to hold the position. His first lieutenant was Yashiro Kusajishi, and his current lieutenant is Ikaku Madarame. Number 95, Death the Kid from Soul Eater. Death the Kid, most commonly referred to as simply Kid, is the second son of Death himself, and the Meister of the Demon Twin Guns, Liz and Patty Thompson. Created from a piece of Death himself, Death the Kid is known to be one of the top 3 EAT students in the DWMA. After his father's death at the connection of the Lines of Sanzu and Asura's defeat on the moon, he inherits his late father's position as leader and headmaster of Death Weapon Meister Academy, as well as his name, Lord Death. Number 96, Ciel Phantom Hive from Black Butler. Earl Ciel Phantom Hive is the current head of the Phantom Hive House, the notorious Queen's watchdog, the owner of the Phantom Corporation, and an aristocrat of evil. He's the son of Vincent and Rachel Phantom Hive, and the younger identical twin brother of, quote, Ciel Phantom Hive. And finally, number 97, Merlin from the Seven Deadly Sins. Merlin is the boar's sin of gluttony of the Seven Deadly Sins. She's regarded as the greatest mage in Britannia. Her sacred treasure is the Morning Star Alden, a floating orb she can summon at will and often uses in conjunction with her spells and her inherent power, Infinity. The name Merlin is actually an alias, as her true name is unpronounceable to humans. And that brings us to the end of today's part 1 of every anime character ever. We got through 97 of them. We didn't quite hit 100. But, you know, if we do a second one of these, we're probably going to end up just capping it off at 200 there to make up for it. So, thanks for sticking around. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to check out these other great videos from the Amagi, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.